And now here's page 11. So we're still working with equivalent ratios and proportions. Let's start with number 1. Number 1, state whether each pair of ratios is equivalent. So you need to figure out, are they equal? 1 to 4 equals 3 to 12. You need to find out if that's true. So you're going to do the usual thing. 1 times something is 3, 4 times something is 12. Is it the same something? So we know 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 3 is 12. So we know for sure that 1 and 4 and 3 and 12 are equivalent. So you leave the equal sign just the way it is. Let's try to do number 3. Number 3 asks us, we've got 4 to 6. Is that equivalent to 2 to 5? So you look at it and you think, all right, how do I turn 4 into 2? Well, I have to divide by 2. How do I turn 6 into 5? I can't. There's nothing I can divide into 6 that's going to turn it into 5. So this one is not equal, not equivalent, not a proportion. Let's take a look at number 9. Number 9, you've got 2 over 5, and it equals something over 20. So you've done this before. You just need to figure out what the missing one is by figuring out what the relationship is between the 5 and the 20, and applying that same relationship to the 2. So the relationship between 5 and 20, you've got 5 times something is 20, or 20 divided by something is 5. It'll be the same something. So 5 times 4 is 20. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top to be able to get your missing one. 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8. So there is your equivalent ratio. There's your equivalent fraction, your proportion. All of those terms are appropriate for what you've just done. All right, let's take a look at number 12. So number 12, I have 8 over something, which equals 56 over 49. So again, your job, figure out what is the relationship between 8 and 56. You can do a times or a divide relationship. Either one's fine, you're going to get the same answer. 56 divided by 8 is something, or 8 times something is 56. You've got lots of options. So whenever you're dealing with ones that maybe you don't know off the top of your head, if you look down your 8s till you get to 56, and you go to the side, you'll get 7. 56 divided by 7 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. And that means you have to do the same thing here. So 49 divided by 7 is going to get me 7. 7 times 7 is going to get me 49. So whichever way you want to work it, it's fine. Make sure you're using your multiplication chart. That's what it's for. It's a good tool to have. And so you've solved it. Your missing number is 7 to make this equal. Let's take a look at number, also don't do number 17. I know we've been over this before, but don't do it. So let's do number 18. Number 18, instead of putting an empty box, what they've done is they've put down an X. Whenever you are dealing with math that has letters as well, normally it's called algebra. And so this is a really good introduction to when we start doing algebra. If you look, 3 to 5 equals X to 75. So oftentimes in math, you will see X's, Y's, A's, B's, C's, all of the letters in the alphabet written in your math. And all it means is it's an empty box, and you have to usually figure out what it is. So, X really just is a placeholder for nothing, for something that we don't know yet, an unknown number. So just like we did up here, we found the unknown number in the box. We're still going to be finding the unknown number in the box. They just put an X there as a placeholder for it. We're going to work the same way though. So 3 times something is something, 5 times something is 75. 75. 75 divided by something is going to get you 5, and then the something divided by the something is going to get you 3. So 75 divided by 5, or 5, if you know off the top of your head, 5 times something is 75. If you don't know off the top of your head, like I said before, you can use a calculator if you so desire. So clear 75 divided by 5 equals 15. So there you go. I'm going to collapse that. So that means 75 divided by 15 is 5. 5, so remember your math facts. If 75 divided by 15 is 5, 5 times that same 15 is going to get me 75. So if it's easier for you to work with multiplication or division, it's up to you. So it's got to be 3 times 15. That 15 is the constant number here. 5 times 15 is 75. 3 times 15 is 45. If you don't know off the top of your head what 3 times 15 is, you can do an outside calculation, or you can use your calculator. Either way, the 15 is the constant, and we have found out what X is. X is 45. It's the exact same thing that you've been doing this whole time, filling in that blank by figuring out the relationship between 5 and 75, and then applying that relationship to the 3 so that you can find the missing number. It's exactly the same thing. So, let's do number 21. Is a word problem. At the Summer Olympics in Barcelona, Spain, the ratio of Canada's medals to Sweden's medals was 3-2. So whenever you're doing a word problem, you want to write down things that make sense to you that you're probably going to need in your math statements. So 3-2, important. Sweden won 12 medals. How many medals did Canada win? So we need to find the ratio of Canada's medals, that's us, to Sweden's medals, that's Sweden, was 3-2. Sweden won 12. How many did Canada win? So whenever you're working with these word problems, you want to first write down the important information that you have and put it into a math sentence that makes sense to you. So we need to find an equivalent ratio for 3-2 to find out exactly how many medals Canada actually won at these Olympics. So 3-2 turns into something to 12. What's the relationship between 2 and 12? So you think, what are my math facts for 2 and 12? 2 times 6, or 12 divided by 6. Either one, going to get me 2. And 12, that's my relationship. So I have to do the same thing to the 3. You have to use that same one. 3 times 6 is 18. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. So you know you've got your equivalent ratio fine, correct. And there you go, there's your word problem. And so Canada won 18 medals during that Olympics in Barcelona. If you have any questions about any of these proportions or any of these questions for the math, just send me a message and we'll